Thanks for joining us. I'm here with Dr. Mike Bradley, Product Manager for the Nicolet IS50 FTIR Spectrometer. And we're talking about the different modules and features that make the Nicolet IS50 the market-leading FTIR platform. And in this segment, I'd like to talk about what the multi-range characteristics features of the IS50, and in particular, what's happening underneath this tower on the IS50 behind us. So Mike, could you tell us about that, please?
If we look back again at the history of why we designed the Nicolet IS50 the way we did, flexibility and customer usability were some major goals of the project. And while the predecessor unit, the Nicolet 6700, had the ability to manually change things, we really wanted to allow the software to take on more of the responsibility of making those changes and of implementing the configurations. The biggest single step of that, and the tool that really implemented that level of flexibility and configurability more than anything else, was the automatic beam splitter changer. We designed it to look like an ice cream maker, yes, but the idea was to give us the ability for the software to make decisions for you. A couple of points along that line. First of all, beam splitters are not inexpensive. In our configuration guide, you realize the cost of some of those beam splitters. And at one point, if you're changing beam splitters, you're probably holding two of them in your hands at the same time. The one that you're taking out, the one you're putting in. The automatic beam splitter changer removes all of that. One of our earliest customers mentioned the fact that one of her employees was like Attila the Hun and really was kind of brutal with instrumentation. And she really liked the idea of the automatic beam splitter changer taking over all of the responsibility for handling these beam splitters. So under here, you can have up to 3 different beam splitters. That gives us the ability to go from the far infrared all the way through to the visible. So you can go from below 100 wave numbers all the way up to over 25,000 wave numbers. So that was really the point of the automatic beam splitter changer, was to integrate all of these tools. For instance, this built-in ATR is capable of doing far infrared analyses, but in order to do that, you need to have the right beam splitter. Well, there it is, right there on the beam splitter changer. In this case, we also have a near-infrared module mounted on the side with an external beam. And again, you need a different beam splitter for that. And again, the automatic beam splitter changer can deliver. We have a Raman module, which also needs a different beam splitter. And again, the ABEX allows you to automatically configure all of that. So really, the ABEX is the tool which, while it doesn't make any measurements itself, it really ties all of the other measurements together. It ties the instrument software into all the accessories. It brings the idea of full automation to life. To me, it's the most exciting accessory on the whole thing. And as I said, it doesn't make measurements, but it's just cool to have. It's very nice, and it overcomes the concerns, as I said, with handling the expensive materials. And since it's fully integrated with the software, it allows you to just makes your workflow work so nicely.
You don't have to break purge either.
Yeah, that's correct. Everything's under the cover. So as you're changing the beam, this used to be a problem with the far infrared in particular. When you would open the cover and change the beam splitters, you would then have to allow the purge to restore itself over, say, 20 to 30 minutes or so before you could collect data. Whereas on this one, you can collect near IR, mid IR, far IR, one right after another without ever breaking the purge. And again, it just allows your workflow to go so smoothly. It's the magic that makes the automation really come alive.
So in a previous segment, we were talking about future proofing. Is the automatic beam splitter exchanger something that if I didn't have the budget to support getting that right away, is that something that I can upgrade my instrument with later on?
Absolutely can add it later. And once you have it, you can add multiple beam splitters to it very easily. So yes, it's something that allows you to reconfigure or upgrade or alter what your instrument's doing. For instance, if you added the Raman module, the FT Raman module some years after you bought the original IS-50, all of that can be added. The automatic beam splitter can be reconfigured with one more beam splitter, usually calcium fluoride, and you're off to the races. It's great.
Great. Well, thanks for talking about that with us in this segment. Again, we hope you find this valuable, and we'd really like the opportunity to talk with you about all of these options and how it could fit your needs. Thank you.